welcome everyone. People are still joining. It's great to have you here. Welcome to Loneliness Isn't Your Fault, but it is your pattern. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you for being on time. And in a world of distractions, you being here is truly a miracle because you could have been in so many different other places and still something brought you here tonight. So I want you to trust that if you are here for a reason. Trust that reason, play full out, and allow yourself to receive what this session is here to give you. So welcome everyone. I see a lot of you still joining. So this session is all about how to break the cycle of disconnection and start creating real connection again. Let me know where are you joining us from, guys, and I'm hoping you are experiencing good weather and that you're staying nice, hydrated, you're well. Let me know where are you joining us from tonight. Hi, Noel. Hola, namaste. Okay, so we have Leicester, Slovakia, Germany. A lot of Germany. Hi, Germany. Liverpool, Stockholm. Hi, Branka. Hi, Rosie. France, Scotland, Essex, London, Estonia, Germany, Sweden, Germany. Beautiful. It's great to have you all here tonight. And I am looking forward, Austria. Hi, Jirta. I hope I said that right. It's great to have you all here. As I was saying, it's so difficult nowadays to actually be able to show up for the sessions you register. Now, just an honest check-in. Can you share in the chat how many of you were tempted to skip this one? Just be honest. I'm just curious because those intrusive thoughts, we all have them. Maybe you noticed, maybe I can scroll for an hour instead of joining this session. Did any of you experience this? Did you have any thoughts that said, maybe I can just not do it tonight, but you showed up anyway? Let me know. Okay. James says, no, missed previous ones. Thank you for sharing that, James. Okay. Some of you had, I know that feeling. I know that feeling. Yeah. Gerta, thank you for your honesty. Noel says, yeah, too hot. I agree. I agree. Gregory says, no, interesting in the session, not seen before. Fantastic. Okay. So some of you, yes, some of you know. I'm so happy to have you all here. Beautiful. Thanks, Angela, for sharing as well. Now, I want you to type a yes in the chat if you have friends or people around you, you have colleagues, you have social media, and you seem very connected. You have conversations maybe on a daily basis and still feel deeply alone. Drop a yes in the chat if this is true for you. Let me know in the chat. Okay, now the chat is literally flooded with yes. Okay, so thank you, Jin, Angela, Salma, Pugh, Lee, Gemma. Now, partially, larger family only, no friends, no conversations on daily basis. Okay, now I can see different situations too. And I'm noticing that a lot of you said yes. Now, one thing I want you to notice as I look in the camera, you are not alone. Okay. So a lot of us are experiencing this exact challenge. So I want you to trust that one, you are not alone. And two, you are in the right place to understand what's happening and how we can change that. Because we now live in a world that has been designed for this connection. Real human connection is becoming increasingly difficult to access. And all these screens, all this social media, all this AI technology, it's actually helping us fall even more, grow even more apart from humanity. Now, we can listen to the narratives. Oh, disconnection is normal. Yes, screens are the new normal, and so on and so forth. Or we can create a narrative that actually works for us, because as human beings, we are meant to connect with other human beings primarily. Okay, so if you've ever been surrounded by people and still feel alone, this session was made for you, because this is now a global challenge. So it's not just you, it's not just the people who joined this session. This is literally a global challenge. And you being here, I want you to trust that you are a part of the solution. So trust, if you're here, you're like, something is off. I feel like I'm alone, but there's so many people. Why not alone? So I want you to trust you are here for a reason. Now, connection is not proximity. We can have a lot of people around. You have experienced this. Connection is nervous system safety. And what humans are missing right now, increasingly, is nervous system safety around other human beings. Okay, so this is what we want to shift, and this is what we want to understand. Connection is not proximity. And I want you to drop a yes in the chat if you have been surrounded by many people and still felt deeply alone. Okay, that's because connection is not proximity. You can work with a lot of people and still feel alone. You can walk to the tube, walk in the city, go into a coffee shop and still feel alone. And so connection is not proximity. You can go to events where people are socializing and still feel alone. Okay, so that means that it's not the fact that we don't have enough people around us, is that we don't feel safe enough to create connection. So the more we don't feel safe to create connection, the more we default to, guess what? Screens, phones, social media, anything else that it's actually not human beings. Okay, so it's up to us to change that. Now, I want you to truly let this one land. Loneliness does not mean you're socially broken. There's literally nothing wrong with you. And you will understand why you feel alone. It usually means your nervous system learned to protect you. Now, it's doing something very specific. So each and every single one of you has a specific pattern that is causing loneliness. And I'm going to show you the main patterns that run in the nervous system that is creating your specific unique experience of loneliness, because every single one of you, so generally as a group, we feel alone. Now, specifically, individually, what is happening, you have your unique patterns that have been imprinted, your own blueprint that it's leading you to repeating them and amplifying disconnection as you moved through life, okay? Now, on a scale from 1 to 10, how disconnected do you currently feel in your life? Where 1 is I feel really disconnected, and 10, I feel super connected. So 10 is super connected. I feel really connected. I just relate deeply with people. I can make friends out of strangers. It's literally easy to connect. And 1, I literally feel alone by myself. I don't have anyone. And 5 is I can socialize. Sometimes I feel connected, but it's not the consistent experience. Let me know in the chat. I want to know where you are. Okay, I'm just checking. 4, 1, 5, 2, 1, 3, 5, 5, 5, 6, 5, 3, 3, 3, 2, 6, 3, 8, sort of. 3, 7, 5, 4, 4, 5, 8, 2, 2, 3, 9, 3. Okay, so one thing I want to say is that firstly, I appreciate your honesty. And I want you to know that this is a safe space, and it's your honesty that will create the shift you are looking for. So this is a space where you are allowed to be yourself, your messy human self, and you are allowed to be honest without being judged, okay? So I want you to truly feel every single time I ask you a question, truly feel into the question and allow yourself to be honest and vulnerable, because as you can see in the chat, the lower numbers are dominant, okay? And again, I just want to clarify and help you see that you are not the only one going through this, okay? So society has created these invisible walls. So we are in a kind of invisible boxes individually that are keeping us away from human connection, while we all want connection, okay? So it's in our power to change that. Now, millions of people experience loneliness globally. It's literally a global pandemic. They say it right now with loneliness. 1 in 3 people worldwide feel lonely. And most believe that there's something wrong with me. I should be better socially. Everyone else finds connection easily. No, it's not true. There's a perception that other people have it better. There's a perception because you see people in a coffee shop smiling and laughing that you believe, oh, they are having genuine connection. That's not necessarily true, okay? Because you have experience being around other people, but not truly feeling connected. So when I say feeling connected, is your internal experience, not what other people see outside. Because other people can see outside you being surrounded by crowds and say, oh my God, they're doing so well socially. But internally, you can still have a deep sense of disconnection, because loneliness is not a personality problem. It's a pattern problem. There's a pattern that it's running in your nervous system, that it's recreating the same experience over and over and over again, and creates this feeling of loneliness, okay? Now, this is our journey together. We are going to understand loneliness. I'm going to gently guide you to understand the 3 hidden patterns that are preventing you from connection. And then towards the end, I'm going to gently guide you through a beautiful activation. It's called scene activation. It will help your nervous system remember that you belong, because there is something very powerful and risky that happens when you feel lonely for so long. Your nervous system starts believing that you are not worthy of connection. And when your nervous system starts believing that you are not worthy of connection, that's when you will generate your own self-fulfilling prophecy. Because if you believe you are not worthy of connection, you will sabotage every opportunity for connection to prove your system that you are not worthy of connection. So what we're doing with the activation is awakening in your nervous system how it feels to belong. Because throughout your life, you had at least, okay, I don't care who you are, where you're from, you had at least one moment where your nervous system experienced true belonging. So we are going to bring that back online so that your nervous system can remember and reactivate the feeling, oh, I actually belong here. I actually deserve connection. I actually belong and deserve to belong. And so once we bring that online, and once you see your own patterns, things will start to shift. Now, at the end, I will be inviting you to Connection Code. This is an immersive experience where we go deeper, and we are literally upgrading your nervous system at a deeper level, and we are rewriting the old patterns. And because I love to add more value from one session to the other, this Connection Code will also have breakout areas and guided moments of true connection with other humans that are on the same path, that are ready to go deeper. Now, if you get triggered by the invitation, I gently want you to notice your nervous system, because this will be an invitation based on resonance. So I just want you to notice if there's any resistance, any fear, because that's your nervous system feeling threatened and there is no threat. It's just an invitation that I will be sharing at the end with all of you, okay? Now, my name is Christina. I am your facilitator today, and I have been on this journey for over 10 years now. And one of my biggest challenges has been exactly that, connection. So I've been on stages, I've written and launched 12 books. So I am surrounded by people, I work with people. So my whole life, I have been around a lot of people. However, internally, I would feel deeply disconnected, and I could not perceive. It took me a long time to understand my own patterns and to understand what creates real connection, because everything I was doing was making me be surrounded by people, but not truly feel connected to them. And once I understood the patterns and I've seen my own unique patterns, I've just shifted and upgraded my nervous system. And now genuine connection is possible every single freaking day. And I want you to imagine that once you upgrade your patterns, what happens is you connect to people at a coffee shop, you connect to people on the street, you connect to people randomly, you just make a lighthearted joke, and you create a feeling of connection in more moments, even in light moments, and even with people you don't have to see ever again. And so this is a shift that has to happen internally so that you can experience it externally. So I can connect with people so fast now, and it's genuine and it's authentic. And I have long-term friendships. I have people that I work with. I have all kinds of people around me. And now I feel truly, genuinely connected. And that's because I have upgraded my patterns. And because I said it like that, I just want to say, because I allowed myself to be the imperfect, messy human being, authentic human being that I am. And this will help you too. So when you make peace with who you truly are, because that's the beginning of this journey, you have to make peace with who you are as you are, goofy, quirky, imperfect. Once you allow yourself, you give yourself permission to be imperfect, to be who you are, people will naturally feel drawn to you. And I will explain why we have put on these masks that actually prevent us from true connection. So once you remove the mask, you allow yourself to be who you are, and you shift these patterns, connection is possible every single place you go. And people naturally feel this as well. Now, we have a code of honor for this session. No distractions. If you join, trust that something is for you in this session. You are here to take something powerful from this session. 100% presence means your mind will start wondering. And you will start wondering what happened during the day, who upset you, and so on and so forth, or what you're going to have for dinner, how hot it is in your room right now, and all kinds of things, right? So every single time you find your mind chatting, I want you to snap your fingers, bring yourself back into presence, and 100% participation. Now, I always say this, I will never force you to participate. I invite you to participate because you're practicing vulnerability, being seen as you are, and these are the key ingredients for connection, okay? Nobody cares here that you don't have the perfect answer. I am here to create a safe space for you to be yourself, to speak your truth, and to truly work through whatever is holding you back from connection, okay? So the more you participate, the more you embody the exact attributes you need to create authentic and genuine connection. So drop what you see in the chat if you are ready to play full out, okay? Let me know in the chat. Let me see. Yes, Gerta, Angela, Somar, Salma, Lina, Jennifer. Yes, I'm in. Beautiful. No, Dajana, Teresa. Fantastic. Thank you, guys. Now, loneliness is not simply being alone. It's an internal experience of disconnection from others, from belonging, and often from ourselves, okay? So this disconnection is happening when your nervous system no longer feels safe to fully connect, express, or be met authentically. Now, your nervous system doesn't feel safe to fully connect when it has information that real connection, showing up as yourself, hurts, okay? So there are some past experiences in your own unique life that have made your nervous system believe that when you are truly yourself, when you speak your truth, when you are your authentic self, you will be rejected, you won't be received, something bad will happen. And so your nervous system started contracting around connection to protect you, okay? So being alone, feeling alone, it's an internal experience. So I want you to understand that it's not about other people. And the more we look within and we fix the patterns that are happening inside of us, the more we can open up to connection. So what's happening is that internal experience you have of disconnection from others, from yourself, from belonging, it's rippling through how you interact with others. So you are literally putting invisible walls if your nervous system doesn't feel safe to truly connect. And so we are going to understand how those walls formed and how to break them, okay? Now, based on your past experiences, you've been hurt, you've been rejected, you've been betrayed, nobody listened to you, you weren't heard, you weren't listened to, you weren't allowed to be yourself, okay? What happened is your nervous system started withdrawing, started masking pain, problems, truth, vulnerability, started overthinking. And in overthinking, it started creating a persona for who they believe people around them want. So they believe now, I don't think they want the real me. Let me create a persona so that they like me now, okay? And self-protection patterns. Now, even feeling unseen around other people. Now, if you felt lonely around other people, I want you to understand that the problem is not the fact that you are not meeting enough people. I want you to imagine if you are walking around with a wall. Imagine you are walking around with a wall. You can meet thousands of people, but as long as you are carrying that wall, those people cannot reach you, okay? It's not that you are not being interesting enough. Again, if you are projecting a self that is not your true self, you keep carrying that wall with you. And you can invent things around people. You can pretend to like what they like, and you can say things that you believe they will make them laugh, but it won't land because that's not your authentic self. And it's your authentic self that creates connection. And the problem is that not that you are not trying hard enough, because if you are here, I trust that you are trying hard enough. I trust that you have tried and you continue to try to shift things around, okay? So I want you to truly understand the problem. Your connection blueprint. So every single one of you has a specific connection blueprint right now, okay? That connection blueprint, I want you to look at it as a computer program that it's running automatically. So the more you do it, the easier it becomes. So I want you to imagine now a habit that you do automatically. It can be, let's take the easiest example, brushing your teeth, okay? So it was challenging at the beginning when your mom was trying to force you to brush your teeth every day, blah, blah, blah. But now you're an adult, you don't think about it, there's no thought about it. You know, you wake up in the morning, you go to the bathroom, you brush your teeth, and you do whatever else you do, right? That is a blueprint for brushing your teeth. You have a specific way you're brushing your teeth. You have a specific way you are putting the paste on. You have a specific way of finishing, right? So every single one of you has a specific blueprint of brushing your teeth. Now, you don't think about brushing your teeth. You just do it now, okay? In the same way, you had specific blueprints. People have taught you what connection is, how safe or not safe connection is. And once your blueprint has formed, you now automatically behave in a way that just follows the blueprint, just as you brush your teeth, okay? So your past experiences, just imagine brushing your teeth. How did you learn how to brush your teeth? Past experiences, right? Somebody showed you, and then you practice some more, and then that became your blueprint, and now that's how you do it. In the same way, relational blueprint, your past experiences. So if people didn't see you, didn't hear your truth, maybe pushed you away, maybe had high expectations, maybe criticized you if you didn't perform, or they wanted you to behave in a certain way, or they gave you conditional love. So they were cheering and loving and happy when you were behaving as they wanted. And then they were criticizing, withdrawing affection, maybe taking any love away from you when you are not behaving in the way they were expecting you to behave. Okay. And so through repetition, your past experiences have created the blueprint. And the blueprint is how your nervous system perceives connection, how safe connection is, and therefore how you experience connection as an adult. Okay. So if you have experienced being not seen, if you have experienced being not heard, if you have experienced conditional love, so you had to be someone else, you had to perform in a certain way, you had to display a specific behavior to be loved and accepted, your nervous system has learned that if I don't perform, I won't be accepted. If I'm not the hardest worker in the room, I won't be loved, right? And so your nervous system has learned through repetition if a relationship is either safe or dangerous. So your nervous system scans, just as you brush your teeth, automatically if it's safe or dangerous. And if you're experiencing loneliness, most of the scans your nervous system is doing, the result is danger, danger, danger. And so you run from connection, okay? And so your nervous system decides now very fast. It's automatic. You don't even think about it. You don't even understand sometimes what's going wrong. We had a nice chat, for example, right? Why things didn't progress? You didn't even realize what was happening. All of the time, your nervous system was danger, bring the walls back on, danger, bring the walls back on, and the walls were coming back on. And once the walls are on and your nervous system perceives that person, that specific relationship, that specific interaction as a threat, as danger, it will shut down. When your nervous system shuts down connection, that's when you can perform, you can try to impress, you can try to pretend to be okay. It doesn't land because real connection is formed through genuine interaction. And so I want you to see how present experiences repeat the old patterns. So just imagine you had a bad relationship and whatever you experienced in childhood, just like a mirror, you now experienced with an adult person. So you felt unseen again, you felt unheard again, you felt like you started overgiving just to receive love, and then you felt disconnection again. And now your nervous system said, I told you connection is not safe. And so what do you do now? Automatically. So I just want you to see that this is happening automatically. You don't even think about it because you have been through these experiences so many times. Your nervous system automatically says, danger, danger, danger. And then you start being hypervigilant. You're always scanning. Do they mean what they say? Are they really doing that? Why are they doing that? Da 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 da. Protection. This person is not, maybe I should put my walls up. Maybe I should be the one telling them no. Maybe I should shut them down first, right? Overgiving. So you're the one always calling, always reaching, always giving, always supporting, but never or very rarely receiving, which is not a balanced relationship. And once you burn out from overgiving, you go back to disconnection and you start feeling alone again. Then anxiety. So you meet someone, it goes well for a little bit, and then you have anxiety because you have been abandoned in the past and you are now expecting at a nervous system level disconnection. Even if that person is perfectly safe and wants to make you feel safe, the fact that you are experiencing anxiety makes you behave differently in connection. And then you experience the same outcomes with different people. Now, I want you to drop a yes in the chat if you have ever experienced the same outcomes with different people. It felt like that relationship was a copy paste of the previous relationship, be it friendship, work relationship, family relationship, but with a different person. It felt like it was the same. It's just another person in front of you. Okay? Now, can you see in the chat how many of you experience yes? And by the way, I will lift my hand too, because I have experienced this myself. Okay. So thank you guys for being so open and vulnerable. This is how we create change, by first truly acknowledging what's actually going on. Okay. So I truly honor you for really doing that. Now, there is a good part. Once you see the patterns, we are going to explore them in a moment. You can change them and you can start rewiring them. Now, the reason why you are experiencing the same outcomes but with new people is because internally you have the same blueprint, which means your nervous system expects the same things. I'm expecting not to be seen. I'm expected not to be given to. I'm expected to be overlooked. I'm expected to be abandoned. I expect to be disconnected. And so because your nervous system is running these programs, it naturally attracts people who will deliver on whatever the expectation is, okay? And so it's not about finding new people because until you change the internal expectations, experience, and blueprint, you'll be attracting these same people just with new faces until you shift your blueprint, okay? And so I want you to understand the difference between being alone and disconnected. So if you feel alone, being alone as a physical state, then definitely you can go with the general advice, go around more people, right? So if the problem is that you are physically alone where you are, I want you to ask yourself, how can I be around more people doing things that I genuinely enjoy doing? So find your passions, connect with them, be around people who do that as well. Now, if you feel disconnected, which I believe most of you are, that's an emotional state. So I want you to truly get that the emotional state, it's happening inside you. And so therefore, it's not dependent on other people. And this comes with two things. One, oh, I thought people can make me happy. And two, it actually brings your power back. Oh, so I feel disconnected inside of me. Therefore, I can help myself generate a new experience inside of me so that wherever I am, I can reconnect with myself and then genuinely create connection. Okay. Now let me know in the chat if you are feeling alone or if you are feeling disconnected, just alone or disconnected. I want to see where you are right now. What's your dominant experience right now? Do you feel alone or disconnected? Okay, Salma says both. Gerta disconnected, both disconnected. They feel threatened, alone and disconnected, feeling disconnected, disconnected, alone, disconnected, both. A lot of disconnected, both disconnected. Okay, both, to be honest. I appreciate you, Lee. That's what we're doing here. We are being honest. So well done for opening up. Okay, disconnected. Okay, that's a lot of vulnerability in the chat. And I truly want to honor you for being open and vulnerable and allowing yourself to say, hey, I feel alone. Hey, I feel disconnected. Okay. So for some of you is both, for some of you is emotional state. Now, my understanding from my own journey and from helping thousands of people now to create that emotional connection back within themselves, what I would start is with the emotional state, with being disconnected, okay? Because if we don't feel connected inside as an emotional state, we will do all kinds of wonders when we are around people just to prove that we belong to, we deserve to be there, okay? And so we need to help ourselves feel connected first and create emotional connection. And then we can surround ourselves with people and generate that connection. And that's why you can travel solo and feel fulfilled, because let's say you go to Bali, nobody knows you, you can be your true self, you don't want to impress anyone, you're just there to enjoy yourself. And that's when that emotional connection comes back online, because it's the connection with your authenticity. You can be yourself, right? Or you can sit with friends and feel invisible. So you can be at the table and you can talk about random stuff, but you don't feel connected. And what's the difference? Safety to be seen. So when you go by yourself in Bali, you allow yourself to be seen as who you are. that authentic, messy self who just wants to I don't know, eat nasi goreng and do nothing, right? And when you are with friends and you feel invisible, you're trying to put a mask and to be someone that your nervous system believes you have to be accepted, okay? And that's what causes the disconnection. Now, I want you to tap into yourself and ask yourself, when do I feel most disconnected? Is it in group settings? Is it in dating? Is it in friendships? Is it in family? Or is it when you are by yourself as well? Because that's an important one too. When do you feel most disconnected? When do you feel like this disconnection, it's more visible for you? Because every single one of you has a specific place where that disconnection is stronger. So as soon as we create that awareness, we know, oh, this specific area needs my attention right now. Okay, let me know. Let's see. Okay, so I'm seeing Jennifer, group settings, family, group settings, friendships, group settings, by myself mostly, myself and friends, group and self, myself, no, James, most in group, but all states too. Great awareness. Gemma, dating, Paula, group settings, in groups, friendships, dating, dating and family, dating, says Alexandra. Selma, family, friends, dating. Lauren says group, family and alone, Dajana. Full friendships and dating, myself. Okay, so I want you to truly honor your answer and now look at the answer and say, oh, so dating is where I feel more disconnected. Oh, so with myself, because whatever your answer was, that's the first area in your life that needs attention right now. Okay, so that's the first area that, this is where I feel disconnected. Let's zoom in here and see what's happening so that we can change the experience. Okay, thank you for sharing that. Now let's have a look at what's happening beyond the surface. Okay, so there's what I call the loneliness loop. And this is something that I truly put together from my own experience, because I was trying to see my patterns, understand my patterns, learn from my patterns. This is something that I did all my life. I was my own guinea pig because I wanted to understand how to shift. And I've traveled the world, attended hundreds of seminars, and they were just giving me pieces of the puzzle. So I just put together everything that I managed to figure out on my way to actually solving my own patterns. Okay, so the loneliness pattern follows a specific path, and once you see it, you cannot unsee it. Now, first of all, drop a yes in the chat if you genuinely want connection. Do you want connection? Do you want true connection? Drop a yes in the chat, because you are making a statement. You are putting it out there. Hey, I truly want connection. Okay, now the chat is flooded. Thank you guys for doing that. I appreciate your honesty. Beautiful. Now, can you see that we all want connection? We all want it. It's just that all these patterns that have been created in our system and all these social tools that have been put in front of us have been engineered to create disconnection. And so it's up to us to learn how to bring connection back online. Okay, so number one, we want connection. That is how the loneliness loop starts. Okay, we all want connection. Number two is our nervous system feels uncertain or safe or perceives danger around other human beings, around possibility of connection. And so we brace, we overthink, we shut down. This is depending on situation on your unique patterns. Now, the third thing that happens, now you hold parts of yourself back. Now, you either hold parts of yourself back or you start performing, you start overgiving. And once you burn out from overgiving, what's happening is connection stays surface level, because either you hold yourself back or you overgive until exhaustion. That connection never truly happens, because connection happens when there is a balanced dance between give, take, me, you. This is how connection forms. And so if you hold back parts of yourself, you hide your truth, you hide your needs, in time, there's a resentment building inside of you, okay? Because if you don't speak what you need and you are not getting what you need, now inside of you, you have abandoned yourself, you have betrayed yourself, and resentment starts to form. Once resentment forms inside of you, you now sabotage that connection, okay? And so connection either stays surface level or you sabotage it in some way. And at some point you say, you know what, this connection is not safe, you want out, or something happens, connection breaks, and then you feel alone again. And for a moment you think, I'm better by myself, especially after you experience toxic relationships. Drop a yes in the chat if you ever had that thought, you know what, I'm better by myself. Let me know in the chat. Let me know in the chat. Yep. Here too. Yep. So I've experienced this myself. Okay. And so now the challenge is for a while, it's okay because you are rebuilding yourself. You are just literally exhaling after a toxic relationship. And once that passes and things settle a bit in your system, now we want connection again. And so we want connection again. But then we keep doing the same thing over and over again. So we meet people, we feel uncertain, we perceive some danger, we perceive they will abandon us, we feel anxiety around them. And then we either hold back or we give too much, or we share too much too fast, or we sabotage the connection in some way. And then that connection doesn't go anywhere or go somewhere toxic. And then we want out. And then we are back. We are okay for a while. Oh, it's good to be lonely because, of course, being with someone toxic or being lonely, we will probably always choose being lonely or most of the times. Some people stay in toxic just because they don't want to be lonely. And so we go back to wanting connection and then we go all the way back into this loop, okay? Now, one thing to understand here, your nervous system, so in all this dance, all this crazy dance, your nervous system is trying to keep you safe. Okay, so your nervous system does what it does because perceives threats and is trying to keep you safe. So your nervous system has the best intent for you, but the intent your nervous system has been programmed in the past through negative experiences. And so you need to help your nervous system understand what's truly safe now so that it can support you in creating connection, okay? Now, there are specific ways you are sabotaging relationships right now, okay? You have your own unique ways, and it can be holding yourself back. It can be entertaining just surface conversations, never allowing people to come too close to you, or if they come too close, you reject them, you ghost them, you run away. Fear of rejection, which shows up in different ways. Either you reject first, either you get panicked by rejection and you don't take the next step, or you don't ask someone out, you don't create conversation, you don't ask someone how they're doing, okay? Feeling invisible, so you believe you don't matter, so why even try? Or oversharing, which scares people sometimes because there are genuinely naturally layered levels of connection so that connection can unfold safely. When we overshare, it's like dumping a truck in a small little place. So we need to create that space before we dump the truck with all our traumas, with all that deep conversation, right? So connection happens in layers. So we need those surface conversation first before we go to deeper stuff. And when we overshare, people get overwhelmed, and that's why they pull back. So I want you to share in the chat, what's your dominant experience? What is your experience? Okay, I see A, C, B, all of them, but especially E, B, C, all, E and D, all, D, C, B, D, all, oversharing. Okay, beautiful. Now, again, you are doing something very deep here. You are looking honestly at yourself. And this is the only way we can change things, okay? Once you have this awareness, oh, so I'm holding back. Oh, I kind of overshare and scare people away, right? Once you understand your patterns, you can change them, okay? And once you know your specific patterns, that's when you can truly change them. So thank you so much, guys, for being so open and vulnerable. This is exactly what creates connection. So you are practicing the exact skill that helps you create true connection. You're honest, you are vulnerable, you're allowing yourself to be the messy human being you are, because we are all messy. Guess what? You're not alone. This is who we are. We are just messy, and society has lured us into believing that we need to be perfect. So we are trying to perform something we're not to be accepted, okay? So 3 hidden patterns. We are going to go through the patterns now before the activation, okay? So pattern number 1 is the self-protection pattern. Now, you are operating the self-protection pattern when you learned early on, and this is childhood, caregivers, school, even adolescence as well. You learned being fully yourself wasn't safe, so therefore, I need to become someone they want to see, okay? Being vulnerable had consequences. So let's say you were going to school, you had a class, and you didn't like the class, and then you went home and you told your mom that you made a joke in that class, and then she criticized you, she withdrew love, maybe she had a fight with you, right? And now your system learned, uh-oh, being vulnerable and telling the truth has consequences. So maybe don't tell the truth so that we can be safe, okay? And you adapted, again, nervous system adapted to keep you safe. But in doing so, it has created this blueprint that is now keeping you from being yourself, which is truly crucial for connection, okay? Now, this is what happens when you adapt and you use self-protection. You become agreeable, whatever people say, yeah. You become interesting. You are trying, I don't know, did you see that game? Yeah, it was so exciting. You have no idea, right? What they're talking about. You feel helpful. So whoever needs help, you raise your hand, you're there, you help people, right? But they never get back. You're just the one who is always helpful. You're trying to be the funny one, always making jokes, always making other people feel good. And when you are doing all of this, what's happening is that you are not fully seen as yourself. You are putting on these masks you have learned you have to put to be accepted. Now, share in the chat, what do you feel like you do when you self-protect? Okay? Let me see, what do you do when you self-protect? James just shared, use alcohol to seem funny and wanted. James, I truly want to honor you for that vulnerability. That level of honesty is what helps us shift. Okay? Allison says, oh boy, so true, funny. Okay? So James, you're not alone. Okay? Agreeable, helpful, withdraw, try to see how others react to what I am saying. Angela, that's hypervigilance, Angela. Again, great awareness. Fiona says agreeable, be funny. Gemma, funny and helpful, always being the first one to help. Interesting, helpfulness, being funny, listen to others, agreeable, funny. Okay, now can you see how we adapt to be accepted? And this is not to point fingers, because I used to do the exact same thing, guys. You're not alone in this. We all did this as a self-protecting mechanism, okay? Now, second pattern, the misaligned people pattern. When you don't know your authentic self, or you have been disconnected from your authentic self for too long, something specific happens, okay? You attract people based on convenience. They live nearby me, or they go to the same place I go, or it's just proximity. So you're forced through work to meet those people, and old identities. So people from your past, people from, I don't know, high school, people that you have a long history with, but maybe you don't resonate again because you have changed and maybe they have not, okay? So when you attract people that are based on convenience, proximity, old identity, that's not alignment. They're just there. So that doesn't mean they're aligned with you. They're just there. And then if you are staying in a relationship with them, that relationship is not fulfilling because you are there because they are misaligned and they were just there. They were around. So instead of being alone, let's just keep them there. But I want you to think about it. You cannot bring in new people if you don't have space for new people, okay? Imagine you have a closet full of clothes and you want to bring in more new clothes, but where do you put them? That's the same with people. And so if you have misaligned people in your life, we need first to understand who is misaligned here so that you can have time, space, energy for the right ones for you, okay? Now, share in the chat if you feel like you have outgrown your friendships recently, okay? If you genuinely feel like, you know what, people around me don't truly resonate, I think it's more of a habit that I keep in touch with them rather than mutual nourishing, okay? Because that awareness is valuable. If we have misaligned people, nervous system through experience learns people are draining. Relationships are not fulfilling. Relationships are not nourishing. And what's truly happening is people that are around you are just misaligned. So your nervous system is not getting the accurate information. Okay. Yep. So I see a lot of you experience that. Some of you don't. Beautiful. So thank you for sharing that. Again, very valuable. Now, the third pattern is the nervous system pattern. Now, this is the most powerful one because connection requires safety signals. Have you experienced a moment where you were just with someone and you just felt like exhaling? Ah, it's so good to be in their presence, right? Now, that's the nervous system pattern that creates connection. And if you have you experienced someone that you're just nervous around them, you're expecting them to judge you, you're expecting them to criticize you, you're expecting them to misunderstand you no matter what you say, to make something else of your words. Now, when your nervous system expects judgment, rejection, misunderstanding, guess what it does? It braces. So if it braces, it's not open for connection. So connection requires safety signals. Ah, I can be myself and you will accept me. Ah, okay. That's what your nervous system actually wants. Okay. So you when you are around people who reject you, judge you, and so on, and you feel like you have to be in alert all the time, you withdraw, you overperform because you're trying to match expectations. You're sharing, guys, trying to be funny, trying to impress them, right? You avoid deeper conversations. So I want you to see this. Loneliness, it is not solved by forcing yourself socially. You don't need more networking. You don't need to pretend confidence. You have to shift your internal connection blueprint, okay? Now, I want you to share in the chat if you feel genuinely, if you feel that your relationships change when you feel fully safe being yourself. I want you to see the difference between being fully yourself and performing to be liked. Can you see, do you feel like relationships will change if you truly felt safe to be yourself, even if that's imperfect, not saying all the right words, not matching everyone's expectations, and being okay with that? Okay, let me know in the chat. Okay, I see a lot of yeses. Okay, yep, it will be a relief. Yep, yep, beautiful. Now, that in itself, again, it's great awareness. Okay, so I will quickly give you the connection blueprint, and then we are going to go in the activation. It's just a 5-minute activation. So I suspect we will be around 5 minutes late, which is something that normally happens because our first 5 minutes, we just gently connect, okay? So connection blueprint, real connection requires 3 things, okay? Remember these 3 things. 1, self-connection, knowing yourself. And when I say knowing yourself, is you, who you truly are, behind that mask that you put socially to be loved, accepted, funny, wanted, okay? The second thing is safety, is you feeling safe within yourself. This is not a them challenge. This is a you challenge to create safety in your nervous system. So safety is the other ingredient. So once you feel safe within yourself, oh, they like me? Fine. Oh, they don't like me? Fine. So your nervous system feels safe to be itself and not really judging your self-worth based on other people's reactions. So you learn to be safe and centered, that the main core theme is I just be myself, and whoever is drawn to that, they can stay. And whoever is not, they can go. That's it, right? That's the best place to be in. And the third thing is resonance, okay? Now, resonance happens through shared values and energy. So what that means is if you have people from the past just randomly being in your life and you feel drained, it's because there's no resonance right now. And so if there's nothing common that pulls you both forward, then that connection is not there, okay? So now if you miss one of these three things from the connection blueprint, real connection fails. You have that masked connection where you try to figure out and help everyone, okay? Now, I want you to be honest with yourself again. You guys have been fabulous. Which one is the weakest for you? Is it self-connection? Is it safety within yourself? Is it creating resonance with other people, literally not having people who resonate with you around? Which one is the weakest? Because again, that gives you laser sharp focus. Oh, this is where I need to focus on, okay? Let me know, okay? A lot of you said resonance. Yep. 2, 3, 2. Okay. Not sure, 3. That's okay. Okay, 2, 3, beautiful. That's okay. Now, I'm gently going to guide you through the scene moment to help you remember how it feels to truly belong. Now, this is a very short activation, but very powerful if you follow along. All you have to do is to receive and follow my guidance. So the way we are going to do it is I invite you to have your back straight because that's your posture of power, okay? Your feet flat on the floor because that helps you feel grounded and centered, okay? If you feel comfortable to do so, you can gently close your eyes. I will be switching off my camera because I want you to focus on my voice and only on my voice, okay? So take a nice deep breath in and a long exhale out. Again, deep breath in and a long exhale out. Once again, deep breath in and a long exhale out. This activation will help you feel experience of belonging so that your nervous system remembers that true connection is powerful. Because many people who experience loneliness start believing something very dangerous, that connection just doesn't happen for them. But the truth is, your nervous system already knows what connection feels like. Sometimes we've just forgotten the memory. So place one hand on your heart and one on your belly, which is your power center. Allow yourself to feel comfortable. And gently close your eyes if you haven't so already. Take one slow breath in through your nose and exhale slowly through your mouth. Now, I want you to think of a moment in your life where you felt genuinely seen, not judged, not performing, just accepted. It might have been with a friend, a family member, a teacher, a partner, or even a brief moment with someone who really understood you. Notice where you were. Notice who was there. Notice what did their presence feel like. Did you feel relaxed? Did you feel safe? Did you feel like you could just be yourself? Let that memory come into your body now, as if that moment it's happening now once again. Notice how it feels in your chest. Notice how your breathing changes. Because this is important. Your nervous system remembers connection. which means connection is not something you have to invent. It's something you can relearn and rebuild. Take a nice deep breath in and a long exhale out. Gently wiggle your fingers and toes. And when you're ready, you can slowly come back and open your eyes. Now let me know in the chat, what was your experience? How do you feel? Did you manage to connect? And if you didn't, that's okay too. I promise you, you got from the experience whatever you are meant to get. Okay, Lina says, soft please, beautiful. Gerta says, yes. M says, smiling to myself. Fiona said, emotional, beautiful. Noel says, calm and peaceful. Thank you for sharing that. Lee says, relaxed and I smiled. Jane says, peaceful and calm. Allison says, again, not sure. That's okay, Allison. Some work needs to be done there. Gerta says, feeling full inside. Jennifer says, emotional. Dajana says, safe. Beautiful. Gerta says, and with hope. Beautiful. Mohammed says, oh, my voice is sweet. Thank you, Mohammed. I'll receive that. Thank you guys for sharing and for playing full out. Thank you, Ben, for being here. Great to have you. Okay, so I want you from today onward to reframe loneliness, okay? Because loneliness, it's not proof that you are broken. It's a signal. And it means your system is ready for deeper belonging, okay? Now, your next chapter requires different connections, okay? So I want you to share in the chat what kind of people you want in your life. Share in your chat what kind of people you want in your life. The first thing that comes to your mind, don't overthink it. Can be the first word that comes to your mind. Lina says cooperative. M says genuine, kind. Listeners, accepting, supportive, authentic, kind, friendly, loving, beautiful. So genuine and consistent and kind. People who are open to connect authentically, supportive, interesting and creative, genuinely authentic, accepting, true and accepting, all kinds of frank and authentic, reliable, says Jennifer. Beautiful. So having this awareness helps you learn how to consciously sort through the people you want to have in your life. Now, why advice fails? Because the typical advice is go to events, join clubs, put yourself out there. But without that internal safety, you stay guarded and you repeat the same experiences over and over again, okay? So real connection happens through rewiring identity, nervous system, relational patterns. And this is what we're doing in the deeper work that's happening this Saturday. Now, let me know in the chat if you would like to build real connection instead of repeating the same patterns. I'm truly curious to see how committed you are. Are you truly willing to build real connection instead of repeating the same patterns? Okay. Yes, I see the yeses. And some of you are skeptical. That's okay. That's okay. It's part of the process, you know? Now, today you discovered something important. Loneliness is not random. It actually follows a pattern. And that pattern, once you see it and you now see it, you can change it, okay? So healing loneliness is not about forcing more social interaction. It's about retraining your system to feel safe. Safe being seen, safe being authentic, safe staying connected to yourself without abandoning yourself. So I want you to truly get this, that insight is the first step. We cannot change anything without awareness. Patterns change when we go deeper because they are deeply ingrained through repetition and years of repeating them automatically, okay? And this is what we are doing in the connection code this Saturday. This is the invitation I was sharing. Now, I just want you to know that this is an invitation based on resonance. If it resonates with you, you are most welcome to join us. And if not, that is okay. I just hope this session gave you a lot of value today. I'm sharing the link in the chat if you want to register. So it's happening this Saturday from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. So it's a 2-hour immersion. And not only that, we will rewrite the patterns from the route, but you will also get time to interact with other people on the same journey. Now, it's a 2-hour immersive experience. We rebuild your connection blueprint. Your replay is included. So if you cannot make it live, your replay is included. What you'll discover inside the experience is your personal loneliness patterns, how to attract aligned friendships, how to stop overthinking socially, how to create depth without oversharing, how to stop being the one who's always reaching out, okay? So if you feel like this is valuable for you, feel free to check it out. Inside the immersion, we do pattern identification, live exercises, breakout rooms, where you get to share your experiences with other participants on the same path, nervous system safety practice, social confidence reset, real connection, and connection building frameworks. It's $49.99 for those of you who want to go deeper. It includes guided integration workbook. So after the session, you will be prompted to implement all the shifts we are implementing so that it can land in real life too. We will have practical exercises, and you also get the replay for a lifetime so that you can redo it as many times as you need until it lands and your external starts to shift, okay? Limited spots. So this is an intimate journey. We have the cameras on if you want to have it on. And we get to be a bit closer there. So if in today's session, you understood your loneliness patterns, this immersion is where we actually change it from the root. So if it resonates, check it out on the website. You can see there all the description. And I want you to imagine feeling deeply connected in your life a year from now. How valuable would that be for you? Because that's the journey we begin inside the immersion. Thank you for being here. I hope this session helped you. And I'm looking forward to seeing you again. Have a blessed evening and hope to see you soon. Take care. Thank you.